sure you must be wondering, gut health. All I've always known about gut is I have the guts. Do you have the guts? Yes. There is such a thing as gut health. I don't even know where to begin. So I'm just going to ask the expert here with us. Yonda Agbeniga is with us in the studio. She is the CEO and principal consultant at Media Ideas Lifestyle and Wellness Center. She's an experienced integrative health and wellness specialist. Thank you for your time today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
So you asked for a cheat question. What is gut health? Let's begin from there. But I'm sure you know a sizable number of people have no idea what gut health is.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, the gut health. We should start with what is the gut. Where's the gut? So that's the tract that starts from your mouth down to your rectum.
Oh.
Yeah.
Including my stomach.
Yeah, right down here and down.
Including the small intestine and large intestine.
Large intestine, and then down to your rectum where you do the big job from.
And take it all out.
Yes, so that's gut health. That's your guts, basically, in that phrase, you know. So we're looking at the health of that area from the beginning to the end, and actually that area, the gut. You know, that's a byword, actually. The health of that area determines the health of the entire body. It's amazing. We focus more on cardiovascular health, which is heart health, immune system, liver function, kidney function, and all that. But the major place where disease starts and multiplies and goes haywire is from the gut. So basically what it means is that a layman's definition is what exactly are you putting in your mouth, which
goes through
the whole system that is absorbed in your heart for your heart, absorbed for your liver to process, absorbed for your kidneys to process, and absorbed till you pass it out. So
permit me, because some people say I'm being cheeky when I say this, but so when I'm saying, do you have the guts? What am I saying? I have no idea what I'm saying, actually, but, don't even answer that one. So here we are now. What are some of the harm we do ourselves by not either taking or not taking care of our gut health? It's the fact that we're not even aware of how significant it is to our health is palpable, isn't it?
Yeah, so how significant it is that inflammations start from the gut. Okay, so let's look at different conditions that could come up from gut health. Celiac disease, gluten sensitivity, inflammations. Inflammations are when the body is set on fire. And the immune system gathers to that place to create redness and swelling, and the whole place is inflamed. So it depends on what we are putting into the mouth, which is being circulated, absorbed through the membranes, and then into the body. So you could start a wildfire without knowing, with what you put in your mouth. The major problem in that place is the balance of bacteria. Now, gut health and its significance is based on the balance of the microorganisms which we have in our bodies. They're called microbiome. Okay, so we are not sterile individuals that don't carry any microorganisms. As you're seated, you are packed full with a lot of microorganisms. I am packed full with a lot of microorganisms. But where there's a problem is if the bad bacteria is higher than the good bacteria. And you need the good bacteria for a lot of processes in your body. You don't need the bad bacteria. You need that balance. So whatever you put in it could kill the good bacteria and enhance the growth of the bad bacteria. Now, the good bacteria, I'm still talking about the significance. You need it for a lot of things, functions in your body. And then the bad ones are easily multiplied. The good ones easily die. So there are things there are foods that you could do that create an acidic environment and they could increase the activity of the bad ones. So you must always have that balance. Good bacteria, bad bacteria. Good must be higher than the bad.
Okay. I'm guessing that you're going into that department of nutrition again. Okay.
Typical.
So how do our diets influence our gut health?
Yeah, that typically what I said earlier. What you put in, the thing about the diet is
I asked because you said now that we need to maintain that delicate balance of good bacteria, bad bacteria. How do I know what I eat? Is it my atarodo that is causing good bacteria, or what exactly? That's
okay. So the thing is, you need to ensure that the milieu, the environment inside the body, is suitable for the growth of the good ones, okay, and not suitable for the multiplication of the bad ones. So that takes us back to still the good nutrition thing, good lifestyle. Like you take in acidic foods that are acidic, like carbonated drinks and stuff like that, will create a very bad environment for those bacteria and create the good environment for the good bacteria, and then create a bad environment for the bad bacteria. And the multiplication of those bad bacteria is where you're having all sorts of inflammation, colitis, ulcers, H. pylori stays inside the stomach and burrows in and digs holes, and then there's ulcer. It's a cascade effect. There's the mouth down to the rectum, there's a lining there, which some of those foods, because they are maybe too acidic or too sensitive, cause perforations. And once there's perforation, you have food escaping into the bloodstream. Those food escaping into the bloodstream, the body creates an autoimmune response to it and says, oh, there's something here that shouldn't be here, and there's a fire set on immediately. High fever, temperature, running, headaches, and all sorts of things can come up from eating foods that can perforate your guts. So you need to stay off those non-living foods. I have a mentor who used to call them foodless foods. Foods that have been, the thing about bacteria is good bacteria, bad bacteria are all destroyed with heat. So the more living foods you take, things like cabbage, carrot, cottage cheese, kombucha, all those drinks, kefir, those things increase your good bacteria, aids your immune system, upregulates your immune system, and gives you a better chance at living.
In other words, foods that have a much shorter trip from the farm to the table.
Yes, and to fire.
Okay. But not those ones that first of all go through from the farm to the factory to the packaging.
No. Then you can't help your gut health from that place. The thing is, from the food we take in, the cardiovascular, the heart health is impacted. The kidneys will have to filter the fluids that are coming in from what we take in through the gut. The liver will have to break down so that's the major place where trouble starts. Once there's a problem in the gut, there'll be a disease. There'll be a disease. So your work is to ensure that you're putting in the right things. Either way, you have to get it done. Basically, to upregulate your gut health, you need to take a lot of living foods. You need to take
just say fruits and vegetables. Yes. All these are living food.
No, foods that are loaded. No, foods that are loaded with enzymes. Okay, and foods that have bacteria culture in them. An example is Greek yogurt. The local pap with the water on top of it has life culture inside, live bacteria in it. And those bacteria are good for the health. So those are the things we need to ingest to help us increase that balance.
Okay, so where do we get bad bacteria from?
Well, that is just typical. You're breathing in a lot of stuff, you're touching things, and and you're doing like this, and it's entering your mouth. All sorts. I mean, bad bacteria is just default and autopilot. You don't need to go and look for them before you get them, But the good ones, you have to do a lot of work. You need to get on probiotics. You need to get on prebiotics. You need to take supplements and foods that will increase their chances of multiplication. And you need them in millions and billions. So when you're taking probiotics, you're taking things like 5 billion CFU, 2 billion, 10 billion CFU. That's what is loaded in that caplet.
In what caplet?
Probiotics.
So all these billions, they are also in the body?
Yes, they are.
Interesting.
Because you have trillions of cells too.
Yes, I talk about that all the time. Now, I've heard this term before about cleaning your gut. Is it a thing?
Yes, so it basically starts with detox.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, in my earlier journey in this whole health and wellness thing, I detested the word detox because I felt, oh, crap. But then, as they say, as you grow older, you understand that detoxification means removing toxins. So you shed your toxic load. And that's what cleaning the gut is. You want to shed off mucus linings that have grown as a result of irritation of what you introduced into the gut that is not helping you. You want to detoxify. There are different protocols to detoxify. You can do a colon cleanse because the majority of the bacteria stay in the colon and in the large intestine and small intestine. That's where fecal matter is. That's where you have all majority of the bacterial load. So there are times when you need to do colonics, clean up your colon. Those curves and involutions in the colon, you have stuff hiding there that can hide there for as long as a year, 2 years. And you'll be having your regular pooping, but there's still stuff in all those involutions.
Why is it necessary to clean the gut?
Yeah, because things can hide there. And that is the breeding ground for bad bacteria. And not only bacteria, fungi. You don't want to have a fungi infection. They could predispose the person to all sorts of diseases, especially cancers. If the enteric area, that is the colon, large intestine, stomach, all those places are filled up with fecal matter and stuff like that, they could predispose to colon problems, colon cancer, ulcerative colitis, gluten sensitivity, celiac disease, in which the gut is perforated because those bacteria are not sitting there and having fun. They are producing toxins. That's why you need to detoxify. They are also burrowing and popping holes into those places. So the earlier you get them out, the better. That's what cleaning is. And you use things like kefir, kombucha, things like Greek yogurt. Let me come home. Water from your maize and pap, those things. Please, when you're doing that, ensure that that water is very clean. And gut supporting foods that have probiotics, because the culture and the microorganisms in them are alive, have to be refrigerated.
So you're essentially suggesting to some people now that when they go to buy their cocoa water, that the cocoa, they should get the water.
No. That cocoa has been cooked.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the raw pap.
The raw one before,
Yes.
Okay. The thing they used to make the cocoa.
Oh, right.
Okay.
I think it's better you have the raw pap in your house.
Okay.
And you can control it like that.
Okay. So it's that water itself that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
having
healthy.
been cultured. Okay. What other things can people use to clean their gut?
Well, detox, like I said.
When you talk about detox, people are talking about some chemicals, some tablets, and stuff like that.
So the first thing I said was a colon cleanse. So there are different ways to clean your colon. You're either doing colon hydrotherapy, that's getting water into your colon, or you're doing an enema, which is helping you force out those stuff that have been hidden there. You're doing regular bowel movements, but there's still stuff hidden in those areas, which, if not taken out, can predispose you to some very funny conditions. Then you have full body detox, in which you're cleaning the liver.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you have a kidney cleanse. And yes, you can also do a full body detox, in which you are under a sauna, pushing out the different types of sauna. There's the heat sauna, there's the far infrared sauna, which allows you to allow the liver to rest, and you push out fluids from your skin, through your skin pores.
Okay. There is also the talk that some people have mentioned about taking vegetables and all of those things. In fact, there are some people in southwest Nigeria who believe that when they take a lot of vegetable, that they have the propensity to to take out a lot of fecal matter in the body.
Okay, so the mindset behind that is that you need to ingest a lot of fiber, which is very correct. The more fiber you take, the fiber acts like a sponge. It passes through the gut from right there down to the stomach and then to the large and small intestine and acts like a mop. So it cleans out, as it's going out, it's pushing stuff out. And that's why you would hear the thing that, oh, at a certain age, you need to reduce your bread intake because the fiber is gone from it and you take it, it just sits in your stomach and it's not digesting. So you need stuff to push it out. Another example is, you know, the Malams who do suya, when they're selling the meat to you, they give you a lot of cabbage and
Tomatoes, onions.
Yeah,
yes.
those, like you say, living foods. Those things still contain enzymes. The meat is like dead. I mean, the enzyme you have, you know. So you have that meat in your stomach. You are eating that. The enzymes in the tomatoes and the onions are digesting the tomatoes and onions and also digesting what they met in your stomach. So it's logical that you have that stuff alongside with your meat because, number one, with our bad nutrition, we have depleted our enzyme bank. We have enzymes for body repairs to heal your injuries, and then we're not even supplementing or taking enough foods. So you are depleted already from your enzyme bank. So you need something extra to replenish that bank to help you with digesting very hard processed meats.
This is very interesting. So what are there risks or side effects to gut cleaning?
Well, if you use very wrong agents to do gut cleaning, you could end up increasing your bad bacteria, and that, you know, if you're not, that's why you don't take on protocols for stuff like that by yourself. You need to see practitioners, licensed people that understand those protocols of cleaning. Like, you don't want to do a colon cleanse and then get your rectum lacerated. So you need a licensed or expert. You need to find out centers where they do such things, where there are different types of enemas. There's colon hydrotherapy, there's organic enemas and all that stuff, which we're very conversant with. But then you don't just do them yourself because you need to use the right agents, right contents to do those cleaning. And you see, the truth is, we had people who one time came in and was like, when you told them about enemas, I like it, whatever. And then he's not a big fan. Anytime he comes, like, I feel so light, I feel so good, you know? And because you actually feel lighter and you feel the weight inside those, you know, when you see people with big bulgy stomach, you know that colon is full.
It's very, very, very busy.
It's full, you know, especially men with the big bulge, you know. So when you help with those cleaning up of that area, you feel lighter and you give the good bacteria chance.
I was going to ask you what the benefits of cleaning the gut are.
Oh yeah, you reduce. The first thing that you shut down is inflammation. Inflammation is like there's a problem and the whole body set on fire. So you're having headaches, you're having redness, you're having swellings. You feel as if there's wildfire in your body. You know, you feel like you've lost your taste buds and stuff like that because you lost your taste buds because you are vitamin deficient already. You know, so there are 1,001 reactions that come up from inflammation. And then when there's a big problem is when you take blood and do your blood works and then you find certain parameters, your inflammation markers, ESR, C-reactive protein, and all those things are up. That's a big problem. And the first place to treat it actually is from your gut. And then there's a particular tumor marker. Tumor markers are cancer markers. Those are things you test in. You take the blood sample and then you go and run test about it. There are specific tumor markers that are just, once they are inflammation markers, when you see them, like, oh my God, there's fire going on in this body. You see that in a patient, you know there's problem. So your first bit is to try to improve the gut health, try to improve their immune system, because the gut and immunity are best of friends. You know, if you're going to heal the immune system, you start from the gut.
How about water? What's the place of water in cleaning the gut?
Well, you need water to flush. I mean, the kidneys, the work, it's default. I mean, the kidneys, are the major work of the kidneys to filter fluids, filter acids and stuff. So the more of water you're taking, the better. I mean, that helps the kidneys to filter very well.
There are those who also point to difficulty in bowel movements. You're shaking your head already.
It's a disaster. It's ask what as an indicator for what?
No. I'm just asking because there are a number of people. Every time they dread the idea of going to the convenience because they know there's going to be civil war there.
Okay. So that number one, let me start with bowel movement is important. You must have at least one a day. You must have at least one a day. I've had people like, I don't go for a week.
Yeah.
Yes, that's problem, looking for where to land and explode. So if there's such a problem, you need to get a practitioner to look you up and find out if there's a blockage, if there's if you're to check your nutrition, if there's different things could be responsible, so not to raise up any panics. You must have a bowel movement at least once a day. Some people do twice a day because they are ingesting. And the best way to support bowel movement is to always ingest fiber. Ingest fiber. Yeah, if there's blockage because of either disease, maybe prostate problems, colon problems, colon tumors or stuff, it's a different ball game entirely. Or maybe there's an involution or something. It's a different ball game. But if it is that because of poor intake of fiber and poor intake of water and fluids, you're having difficulty going. The first thing is you're going to have varicose veins in your rectum. You're going to have, next thing is hemorrhoids because you're doing to go, so, and you're going to have that hemorrhoid thing pushing out. So you need to be on fibers a lot. Like I would say, fruits and vegetables contain a lot of fiber. Eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, a lot of leaves. Just eat leaves. Like good edible leaf. Eat a lot of raw leaves. And then there are fluid fibers. They call them soluble fibers too. You can take those ones, pectin, all those things, modified citrus pectin and all that helps. Psyllium husk helps. Some people do tiger nut flour. Very rich in flour.
I just heard that some people are wondering what psyllium husk. What psyllium husks? I just heard about it about 2 weeks ago. Tell us a little about it.
It's just fiber that goes into your system. Some fibers are indigestible, so they go in and they're coming out. They're not coming out alone. They're coming out as a mop. They've cleaned the inside there and packed stuff out. So that's the work of fibers. Any fiber.
Okay.
Both found in vegetables, those that are soluble fibers, the ones in drinks, that's their work.
Okay. There are some people, if they eat anything like this, sorry, I'm going very local now, it is the shape it came into their stomach that it will go out of their stomach, e.g. corn or beans. What happens in those situations? Okay,
so the thing with corn is that there's some people that have allergies that, it's still the gut. There's some things that allergens, they're called allergens. Allergens are things that create allergies. There's some people, when they take corn, they're going to start sneezing or coughing or something. So some people have that allergic reaction to corn and to granules. And so they take it in and there's all sorts of allergies that has gone up. And some are, like you say, asymptomatic, no symptoms, but the whole system is warped already. So there are some people that also have very poor digestive health. Their digestion, they call it the churning, doesn't work very well. So as it's going in, it's coming out.
So the machine does not grind it well.
It's not grinding well.
Okay. Now, at what point does someone know that I need to clean my gut?
Inflammation. Well, the first thing is when you take a blood work, when you do a scan, also, yeah, maybe an AI scan, but then when you take your blood and run your blood test, and you have specific markers that are up, like your ESR inflammation markers, you know that, yes, there's problem brewing. That alone is telling you that a war is about to start, and your work is to shut down that war, okay? Then when you start having a lot of fevers, chills, loose bowel movements could also be part of the problem. Constipation is a big problem. People who have celiac disease, people who have gluten sensitivity, that you take gluten and you are reacting to it with problems and stuff. At that point, you know that, oh, something needs to be done to my gut health. In short, when immune problems start, I mean, when you're having autoimmune condition means that the body is attacking itself. You know, all those problems, autoimmune conditions are a marker that the gut needs help.
How frequently should that happen? Once a month, once in a year, once in 6 months?
So, but you know that it's not like a blood test that you're saying, oh, after 6 months, your blood works are obsolete. I think gut health is something that you should imbibe as your day-to-day activity.
Okay. Ensuring
that I put the right things in, I get the wrong things out, I help the good guys, and I don't help the bad guys.
Well, now you know if you want to avoid falling sick. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Dr. Yonda Beniga is CEO and Principal Consultant at Medi Ideas Lifestyle and Wellness Center. Thank you again for your time. I know that people are going to tell you that you need to exercise. The easiest exercise is dancing. And guess where it comes from? Music makers, such as our guest coming up next.